Today I fucked up, chatting with my gynecologist. So, I went in for a routine lady checkup, right? These visits are awkward from start to finish. The hype yourself up to be able to leave the house, the play it cool conversation before taking your pants off, and oh god, the cleaning beforehand. Pretty sure I've discovered a new layer of skin from all the scrubbing. Pubic hair. What is that? So, enter the doc's office. Awkward prelims, tick. Pants off, tick. On the table, please tell me this piece of disposable paper has been changed since the last patient. My ass is vulnerable right now. Fast forward to the speculum shivers, now it's just silence. Silence and this guy, just having a stare off with my lady taco. After a few horrifying silent seconds, I decided it would be a good idea to make small talk. Only God knows why, clearly out of creative ideas, I blurted a lot of cobwebs up there. The doc stops moving and chuckles awkwardly. After what feels like an eternity, he says, not having an active sex life then. Awesome. No. I meant the ceiling. Your ceiling. Not my vagina. Crawls into a hole and dies. For some reason he thought this was way funnier than I did. So yep. Should I change gynecologists? Can't bear to face him again. Embarrassed smiley face. Embarrassed smiley face. Edit. Obviously I can understand he was just being a professional, and was concentrating on his job. That's why it's a time that I fucked up. Smiley face. Edit 2. Thank you for silver/gold kind strangers. Edit 3. Oh good lordy, my inbox. The state of my ceiling is fine, thanks for your concern. Folded hands. Also yes, I told him he misunderstood me and we laughed about it. Also, you guys are the best. Too long didn't read, told my gynecologist he needs to clean his ceiling more often, but actually it was his mind that needed cleaning. Winking face. I don't think anyone in his position would have guessed you were talking about the ceiling. If it makes you feel any better, at the end of the semester my professor was handing out books, a hardcover and paperback. This class only had about 17 people in it, and mind you the room is quiet. So he's walking to each student asking which kind they want. He gets to me, I'm in the back and a girl, and asks would you like a hard or soft book? And I said I'd like it hard please. The girl I sit next to started laughing and I turned super red because classmates were turning their heads. Ha ha ha, there's always that one inappropriate person to point out innuendos at the worst time. That's actually fucking funny. A few years ago I took my mom's recommendation and started going to the same gynecologist as her. The doctor's first comment as she was inspecting my lady parts. You look a lot like your mom. FML, no. But my point is, gynecologists do what they can to have some fun, D. Mine waited until he was examining down under before asking if I'd been doing some painting. I had indeed, but holy crap, I wasn't doing it naked. Turns out he had seen speckles of paint, from the roller, on my sunglasses which I'd pushed up on my head once in his office, but he waited many fully dressed minutes before commenting on it. I read once that a woman forgot about her gyno appointment, ran into the bathroom, grabbed a wet washcloth and washed real quick and ran to her appointment. During the exam the doctor asked her, are you celebrating something today? She thought that was odd, but she said something about every day is a celebration at my age. Got home, cleaning the bathroom, and discovered she had washed herself with her daughter's project cloth which was covered in glitter. So she had glitter all up in her junk at the doctor's appointment. I think she said she changed doctors after that. I read a similar story. The version I read was she went to grab feminine spray but grabbed her daughter's glitter spray instead. It's just one of those made-up stories that have been around forever. Today I fucked up by letting mom find the cum wall. When I was around 12 years old and just discovering masturbation, I had a hard time figuring out where I should unload it. I was too afraid to bring tissues into my room as it seemed too obvious, so eventually, with my galaxy brain, I realized I could just shoot it down in the gap between my bed and wall. At this point I hadn't quite fully developed object permanence and for over a year assumed it was evaporating or something down there, out of sight out of mind. Until it was time to paint. With both of my parents in my room, unscrewing outlet covers, laying blue tape etc., I decided to move my bed and, to my horror, a year's worth of cum was crusted, running down the wall. I quickly moved it back and tried to devise some reason for why we should paint another day. I decided that if I went and cooked something I could force my parents to come out and eat it while I went back in my room and painted over all the fucking cum on my wall. Then not only would I be a good boy for cooking dinner, I would also be a good boy for having painted on my own, with the added bonus of saving myself some embarrassment. I don't remember what I cooked, but I wasn't fast enough. When I came back in, my mom was on her knees scrapping all the dry, flaky cum with some sort of metal tool. Before I could say anything, she looked at me and said, "This is disgusting. Why would you spit all over your wall? If you need to spit, do it in the toilet, or just swallow it, but you can't spit all over your walls. Why would you do that?" I'm almost certain she knew what it was and was saving me from embarrassment, and for that she's a real trooper. I'm 21 now, so it may be time to just ask. Too long didn't read. I used to come on the wall next to my bed. My mom moved it and, well, cum wall. Edit, this got bigger than I expected, so I'll add a couple things. 1. There was no possible way I could brag to my friends about all the karma I've just acquired without explaining to them what a cum wall is. Naturally, they now know what a cum wall is. 2. I take slight comfort in the fact that, unlike the shoebox and coconut, this mural, as much of a work of art as it was never meant to be erected. 3. I'm seeing the links to creepily similar stories. Looking at my post history, you should be able to tell I'm not a troll. I don't even post a lot, just happened to be reminded of this by something a friend said last night. 4. It may comfort some of you to know my current living space is the exact opposite of a neckbeard nest. Girls say I'm really clean for a guy. So not a neckbeard, I just become endo. Talk about a load-bearing wall. So did you start spitting in the toilet, or did you swallow it? What I take away from this is, as the mother of a 13-year-old boy, I should always make sure there is a box of Kleenex in his room. Sweetie, I know you've been a little stuffed up recently, so I put some Kleenex next to your bed. I put some lotion in there too, in case your nose gets irritated. Allergies are rough, I know. He built a wall and made his mother pay for it. Do not ask your mom if she knew. Just don't, dude. Tuck your tail and get on with your life. I guess I've repressed it this long. Today I fucked up and my son ended up thinking Santa Claus was stealing penises. So my wife comes home after picking our 2 youngest kids up from school. She opens the door and goes, "Did you say something about Santa Claus stealing penises?" I reply, "I didn't say any shit like that. I would never ruin Christmas. Here's how we got there. I have 2 daughters and a son. My son was 3 or 4 at the time. He refused to wear clothes and ran around naked or in his underwear. My daughters weren't having any of it and were like, 'This is your department, old man. Do something.' I tried to reason with my son and that just didn't work. I was thinking that I needed something to use that he was afraid to lose. He's a tiny kid. He'll play with a cardboard box and be happy. That's when he came running past me with both hands on his junk. That's it. He loves his dick. I love my dick. Me and my penis are tight. So my son and youngest daughter are eating lunch. I look across the table and go, 'Hey big guy, you know how sometimes you can't go to sleep 'cause you think there's something in your closet?' Hesitantly, 'Yes. I didn't want to scare you, but you're old enough to know now.' His eyes got wide and my daughter had a puzzled look on her face. She's 4 years older. I go, 'There's a goblin that lives in your closet. And if you don't do what you're supposed to, like wear underwear and clothes, he creeps out at night while you're asleep and steals your penis.' He incredulously responds, 'Nah. I reassure, 'Oh yeah. What do you think happened to your mom and sisters?' At this point my youngest daughter loses her mind laughing. She's holding her sides and almost falls out of her seat. My son was dead silent. I could almost hear him thinking, 'Damn. They don't have dicks. So where does Santa Claus come in?' After I told my wife I would never ruin Christmas, she tells me she heard our son say to our daughter, "You must have done something really bad for Santa Claus to steal you penis." My guy confused goblins with Santa somehow and thought Santa Claus was roaming around with a big red sack full of stolen dicks. Fear not. I straightened him out. I googled pics of Santa, and pics of goblins from the movie Labyrinth. Too long didn't read, tried to scare my son into wearing underwear and he ended up thinking Santa Claus was stealing dicks. The bad kids get coal, and the super bad kids get their dicks stolen. Soon does he wear clothes now. Also him thinking that's how there are girls will mess with him real good in the future. Lol, he wears clothes now. My wife made sure to talk to him about penises and vaginas and I had to excuse myself to go laugh my ass off. I'm a grown-ass man but every time my wife or my son said penis and or vagina I lost it. Fear not. I straightened him out. I googled pics of. You had me worried there for a second lol? Fear not. I straightened him out. I googled the BME Pain Olympics video and showed him what Santa was going to do. Like geez, a little too far man. I really hope he doesn't mix up bags while delivering presents. My oldest daughter asked me where cats came from. I told her they came from Ohio. She goes, "How do you know, Daddy?" I said, "If you lift up his tail, there's a big O on his license plate." She bent over, lifted his tail, look at his butthole and goes, "He is from Ohio, Daddy." She graduated with a double major in psych/sociology and just started her master's program. He'll work it out. So Santa must have a lot of dicks now, right? That's why he's got such a huge sack, son.